Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you watch this channel. I'd like to start this session by appreciating you so much for supporting this channel. If you wish to support us, just subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. After waiting for quite some time, finally, Ichungwa, who heads the faction of the Kenya Kwanza bipartisan talk team, showed up after Cecil Mbarire literally told the people that alikuwa amekwama kwa jam. I don't know why Ichungwa came late, but kitu nawezaona ni kusema ni kwamba alikuwa anadharau hii talk. I mean, this meeting either ama because he has been a hardliner, ilikuwa inachukua time kwa kufikiria kumbe nitaenda ama nisiende. And then it's as if he was not believing that it's happening. So he showed up after, I think Kalonzo had given out his speech. And there is something that I want us to look at. And this is what Kalonzo said in his statement. We don't want to ask ourselves why Raila Amolo Odinga settled for Kalonzo, but there are people who believe that Raila could be preparing Kalonzo for 2027. I don't know. Those are just people thinking. I mean, anything is possible, by the way, but that's what someone said somewhere. So the Wiper party leader, Kalonzo, read a statement to the bipartisan team and the details that will be discussed. The Wiper leader affirmed that the talks are not about power sharing or their inclusivity in government, but it's all about the country. So Kalonzo later on made it clear that Azimio leadership is fully committed on the talks and they expect the same from the Kenya Kwanza leaders.
Ensure respect for the Constitution and the rule of law. Number 5, we undertake to regularly and honestly update the people of Kenya on the developments throughout this process. And number 6, respect and uphold the dignity of all our participants and Kenyans in the dialogue. We shall not negotiate, and this is important for us, for any form of power sharing with the Kenya Kwanza alliance or put any personal interest ahead of the interests of our people. Fellow Kenyans, we ask for your continued prayers and support so that we may find a lasting solution to the challenges that bedevil our nation. May God bless Kenya. Asanteni sana.
Interestingly, that's why while he was doing that, majority leader, Ichungwa, who was also heading the other faction of Kenya Kwanza, had not showed up, like I said, at the time Kalonzo was giving this statement. So a tweet that was shared by Kalonzo Musyoka, says, "My opening remarks on behalf of the Azimio One Kenya Coalition Dialogue Committee at the Bomas of Kenya earlier today." And then that tweet was shared with a long letter. I think that was a statement that Kalonzo read during the openings. So Kalonzo has told the people of the Kenya Kwanza faction to ignore the talks of power sharing and handshake, for that's not what Azimio wants. He has made it clear time and time again. In fact, this is not him saying it for the first time, but there was a time, where Raila Amolo Odinga, when giving out his press statement through the international media or international community, said he is not focused on the handshake. In fact, I have said this in this channel, I've repeated this about this thing, and let me just say it for the last time. Raila is not for the handshake. No. He said, I cannot be for a lofty bread. I'm not interested in lofty bread. I am interested in one, high cost of living and the IEBC issues. So from that statement by Kalonzo Musyoka, one can easily tell that the focus of Raila Amolo Odinga and the Azimio team is the high cost of living na IEBC servers zifunguliwe, na ile committee pia ile commission itengenezwe, ambayo itakuwa si ati imetengenezwa na Kenya Kwanza pekee yake, ni commission ambayo inatengenezwa na all players. That is what they said, and that is what Azimio are all about. Over the weekend, William Ruto said that Wakenya walishafungua server. That's what he said. I don't know, I've been trying to imagine this statement by William Ruto, what he meant by that, because we know that kufungua server, according to Raila, is auditing the central storage server, the logs, the storage files, especially this log server, because that's where you get to understand who logged in, how transactions were done, the savings and the like, when they were done, what time they were done, so that you can get those crazy numbers. In fact, you can get days after the election if some results are still trickling in, or maybe, it is just to establish the movement of those transactions on the server. So that's what Raila Amolo Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka have maintained regarding the IEBC issues. So as to whether these talks will bear fruit, because hapo ndo kuna shida. Hapo kwa server na cost of living ndio hawataki kusikia kabisa. But let me ask you something. If you are a leader and you think that you won fairly na unataka kumaliza hii swala, so you just allow server ifunguliwe, iangaliwe, and then ifungwe, then all those story ishe, rather than carrying this burden over and over again. Right now, this issue of a server itabeba William Ruto from today paka election ya 2027 ifike, it will still be server. We understand that the price, the salary has been, there is some salary hike from SRC. SRC has made those recommendations. I think this is just a political move, because it is meant to sway people to think the Kenya Kwanza way. That's the reality. I'm saying that without fear or contradiction, but that's the point, ladies and gentlemen, because the idea is very simple. Increase salary, wacha watu washerekee. In Nyeri walipewa nyama wakakula, wakasahau kwamba kuna shida ya prices za vitu kwenda juu. Now they are saying Messiah. They're calling William Ruto Messiah. I saw that. I saw an interview by Inoro TV, whereby the interviewer was literally trying to tell William Ruto that now that people call you Messiah. I think that was because of vile chakula ambao walipewa wakakula, nyama nyama na rice. Walikula nyama na rice, na ndio maana unaona kwamba hiyo issue ya Messiah ilikujia hapo sasa. So back to Kalonzo Musyoka's statement. What do you make of the demands by Azimio and the demands of Kenya Kwanza? Would you go for the demands of Azimio or the demands of Kenya Kwanza? The demands of Kenya Kwanza are all about creation of positions, because there's the issue of office of the prime cabinet secretary to be formed, office of the opposition to be formed. So it's all about creating positions, which is something that they said they were not after. They were after reducing the prices and making life bearable to a mwananchi. That's what they said during their campaign. But is that the case? Definitely no. So where does this story leave us as a country? Kalonzo's statement makes a lot of sense.
This first meeting has been important, and we have agreed on the way forward, namely that we've agreed to set up, there'll be two technical teams
on both sides, with a rapporteur on both sides, and we have agreed that the speakers of parliament will provide the answered reporters. We thought that is very important because subsequently we expect there will be documents generated and they will require presentation perhaps on the floor of both houses. And so, but that was an important thing. We are generally in agreement with the agenda items, but we have to agree on how we frame the agenda.
So, ladies and gentlemen, kindly tell us below the comment section what you think about this statement from Kalonzo Musyoka. And also, I'd like to kindly urge you to stay safe and stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.